Humanist Association of Canada. Around the middle of the 20th century, when Dr. Ernest Poser emigrated to Canada in 1941. Poser was a member of the Rationalist Press Association of Great Britain, and he married Dr. Maria Jotakan, a freethinker, and in 1944 they moved to Montreal. Later that year, Dr. R.K. Mishra, a research physician at the University of Montreal, placed an advertisement in, let's see if I got that here. Placed an advertisement in the Montreal Star inviting members of the RPA to basically begin a humanist group. The three met and eventually founded the Humanist Fellowship of Montreal, which had these two official patrons, Lord Bertrand Russell and Dr. Brock Chisholm, Canadian psychiatrist and first director of the World Health Organization. Chisholm often addressed the fellowship on public occasions. Although the Humanist Fellowship of Montreal did not survive, the Humanist Association of Canada was first officially established in 1968. Membership rose, and by the early 1970s there were approximately 350 members. The organization continues to grow after more than 35 years in existence and has spawned the development of humanist groups across Canada. Some of those groups can be found in Ottawa, Toronto, Guelph, KW, Cambridge, Windsor, Oakville, Winnipeg, Calgary, Vancouver, Victoria, and so on and so forth. And Barrie.
Ooh, good catch.
Thanks.
Yes. You owe me $20. In 1996, HAC was granted permission by the Government of Ontario to perform legally recognized marriages. Two of HAC's most influential leaders were past presidents Henry Morgentaler and Dr. Robert Buckman. So, here we have Henry, looking sporty. Most of you probably know a great deal about this man already, but he's a Canadian medical doctor and longtime abortion activist from Montreal. He was a Holocaust survivor. He's going through World War II, eventually emigrated to Canada in 1950, where he would begin practicing medicine in Montreal. On October 19, 1967, he provided public testimony before a Government of Canada committee stating that any pregnant woman should have the right to a safe abortion. Recognizing that there were limited options for unwanted pregnancies in Canada, in 1969 Morgentaler gave up his family practice and began performing illegal abortions. By 1970 he was arrested in Quebec for performing an illegal medical act. From 1970 to 1988 Morgentaler was arrested, tried, and imprisoned. Supreme Court of Canada, we now know that the Supreme Court ruling of 1988 has pretty much been a constitutional issue, a matter actually of the Charter, that the state has no right to tell women what to do with their bodies. Essentially, it falls under security of the person, that the state can no longer impose that type of control over a woman's reproductive capacities. And we have this man, essentially, to thank for it. He spent a bit of time behind bars for what he has done as a champion of human rights, especially the rights of women. The power and breadth of his convictions contributed greatly to the end of all statutory restrictions involved with abortion in Canada. Now, I don't know if some of you will remember this, but not too far from here, Henry's Harvard Street clinic was bombed in 1992.
Those were the days.
In December of '95, he sends Pope John Paul an open letter, basically pleading with him to find a peaceful resolution to the hate propaganda and violence directed not only at himself and his clinics, but other clinics throughout the world. Now, I don't know if you folks have been hearing about the latest Brazilian tour the current Pope is on right now, but essentially what he's saying is if you're a politician and you're Catholic, you have to be against abortion. You can't vote according to what your constituents want. You have a stronger moral conscience. And what does that tell us about democracy then, essentially, right? I mean, what good is it if that's essentially how, you know, the whip is going to crack over your head, right? So, you know, Henry has tried. He's been a great ambassador, I think, in this regard. And of course, it's going to fall upon deaf ears, but nonetheless, at least he's out there. He's going to the people who are affecting these types of policies throughout the world. By the way, this is a little off topic, but it's something I showed my critical thinking students, and I have it somewhere. I don't know if I have it with me or not. But you can go online right now and you will find sites that are associated with Catholic institutions that basically say to Africans, if you use condoms, you increase the likelihood that you'll catch AIDS.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like, how more irresponsible can you be?
Not more.
And how uncompassionate or discompassionate can you be to suffering than to say that in the name of a god or a religion?
It's
it
criminal.
just seems,
Yeah,
you know, so I put it up there in front of my students. And it's difficult not to wave the atheist banner, but I just said to them, you can be Catholic, you can be Muslim, I don't care what you are. Do you think this is right? Like, to deliberately misread science in order to spread this type of information so that it'll harm greater, you know, more people than help them. And so most of the students obviously are, yeah, no matter what your religion says, that goes against what we know is not only commonsensically true, but scientifically demonstrable as well. So, anyhow, let's see. Currently, Dr. Morgenthaler is attempting to open several abortion clinics in the Canadian Arctic. He's also the first president of the Humanist Association of Canada. And on June 16, 2005, the University of Western Ontario conferred upon him his first honorary Doctor of Laws degree under considerable protest, petitions, and political and public outcry. You probably remember seeing this on the news as well. Now, Dr. Robert Buckman is a medical oncologist at the Toronto Sunnybrook Regional Cancer Centre and an associate professor in the Department of Medicine at the University of Toronto. He graduated as a physician from Cambridge University in 1972 and completed his training in medical oncology at the Royal Marsden Hospital in London. He emigrated to Toronto in 1985. He's also an author, television personality, documentarian, and communications expert. He has written over a dozen books and has been featured in award-winning television documentaries. He also writes and presents a series of medical information videos with Monty Python's John Cleese. Dr. Buckman is a past president of the Humanist Association of Canada. He's appeared on numerous television and radio programs worldwide promoting the secularist humanist cause. He recently hosted a national documentary entitled Without God, which follows the theme of his book, Can We Be Good Without God? One of the groups I'm personally involved with was called the KW Cambridge Guelph and Area Humanists. On June 1st, 2006, the organization changed its name to Society of Ontario Freethinkers, or SOFREE, to reflect their growing membership, which has expanded beyond the boundaries of the 4 cities listed in their original name. SOFREE is a dynamic fellowship that provides a social and political presence on behalf of freethinkers across Ontario, atheists, agnostics, secular humanists, rationalists, materialists, skeptics, and transhumanists. Some of the contributions SOFREE has made to free thought in Canada so far include things like Camp Quest Ontario. This is the only summer camp for children of freethinkers in Canada. It started in the States, but now we have one in Canada. At this camp, children improve their critical